As I was riding the bus, the jade bracelet on the girl next to me suddenly snapped. She claimed I broke it. She didn't know that Jade has a spirit. The bracelet broke to shield her from a disaster. She demanded $5 million, or she'd have me locked up. But I was looking at the shadow demon clinging to her. I smiled. The demon feeds on your life force. It's about to overflow. You'll be dead by morning. By my spirit sight, I bind your soul. I call upon the master of winds. Appear. A yellow talisman flew from my fingertips, and a green figure materialized from it, swallowing the black smoking demon in one gulp. The woman, who had been raging a second before, suddenly went calm. The red glow faded from her eyes, and her body went limp, slumping to the floor. I let out a breath and spoke to the trembling figure hiding behind the curtains. It's done. The curtain was pulled back shakily, and a man crawled out, sobbing as he hugged the woman on the floor. Master, my wife, is she dead? I rolled my wrists. The demon is dead. Your wife just fainted from low blood sugar. Let her rest, she'll be awake by morning. The man collapsed on the floor, gasping with relief and wiping away tears. Thank you. If it weren't for you, my whole family would be dead. I packed up my things and smiled. No problem, Mr. Wong. Just doing my job. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review, okay? My name is Quinn, and I'm a spirit medium. A spirit medium is a bridge between humans, gods, and ghosts. When a supernatural event occurs, I can summon spirits and deities to help me. I've lived for 1,000 years, but my body has remained that of an 8-year-old child. The gods and spirits say it's because I'm the only spirit medium in the world. I'm not truly human, nor am I a ghost. Neither the mortal world nor the underworld dares to claim me, so my time has stopped, leaving me in this undying state. After leaving Mr. Wang's house, I glanced at the $10 million that had just appeared in my bank account and smiled. Just then a bus pulled up. I dropped $1 in the fare box, found a seat, and swung my legs, feeling pleased with myself. Ah! The girl sitting next to me screamed, staring blankly at a bracelet that had broken in two. She whipped her head around to face me. Where did you come from, you little hick? Do you have any idea how expensive this was? I looked at her and narrowed my eyes. Jade is a spiritual object. It nurtures its owner and protects them. When it breaks, it's because it has shielded you from disaster. I paused, noticing the dark mist gathering between her eyebrows, and shook my head. But this disaster is too big. This bracelet wasn't enough to stop it. Go home and ask your family if they brought anything strange home recently. If they have, returning it within 3 days might save all of you. The bracelet's owner stared at me for a second, then sneered. Trying to talk your way out of this, are you? This bracelet is a family heirloom. It's worth at least $5 million. If you don't have your parents pay me back, you can wait for the cops. The bracelet she was holding had decent color, but it was cloudy, not very translucent, and full of flaws. It was worth a few thousand, tops. The bus was crowded, and the passengers and their bags completely blocked the security cameras. With this girl insisting I'd broken it, I was in a tough spot. Kids these days are such brats. That's $5 million. Yeah, and look at how she's dressed. Her family probably couldn't even come up with 5,000. TSK. If you can't raise a kid right, don't have one. Just releasing them into society to cause trouble. Don't worry, miss. I'm live streaming the whole thing. The brat's parents can't deny it. I sighed. Whatever. I've lived too long to argue with these kids. The bus reached my stop, and I got up to leave. The girl grabbed my arm. Trying to run? No way. You're coming with me to the police station. I looked at her calmly. Miss, I think you know perfectly well whether or not I was the one who broke your bracelet. Her eyes flickered. You were sitting right next to me. You must have bumped it. How else would it just break? She looked me up and down with a sneer. You look like you just crawled out of a barn, dressed in those rags. You people are polluting the city air. I glanced down at myself. I was wearing a new unreleased piece from an international designer's custom-made collection. The vintage melancholy set. I guess it did look a little old. I'll have you know my dad is a manager at Apex Corp. If you don't make this right today, I'll make sure you spend the rest of your life in prison, believe it. Apex Corp? Isn't that Mr. Wang's company? Everyone be my witness. This kid broke my $5 million bracelet, and she's going to answer for it today. The girl paraded her broken bracelet through the bus. Suddenly, my eyes locked onto it. I lunged forward and snatched half of the jade from her hand. What are you doing? She shrieked. Everyone, did you see that? The kid is trying to destroy the evidence. Don't worry, miss, I'm recording everything. My expression grew more and more serious. I'd only given the jade a quick glance before, and hadn't he noticed the strangeness within it. But when she waved it in front of me just now, I finally saw it. There's a shadow demon being raised in this jade. Judging by its power, this bracelet has been passed down through at least 4 generations. I looked up at the girl. She gave me a suspicious look. How did you know that? The people in your family who wore this bracelet never lived past 50. A shadow demon feeds on life force. After 4 generations, it has grown full. Now that the bracelet is broken, it's coming out. When it emerges, it will kill those closest to it. You've been feeding it for so long. Tonight at midnight, it will kill everyone. The bus went quiet for a moment. Then, the bracelet's owner clutched her stomach and burst out laughing. Where did this little scam artist come from? You say anyone who wore this bracelet didn't he live past 50? My grandma gave it to my mom, and they're both alive and well. My grandma is 78, and my mom just celebrated her 50th birthday last month. Have you been watching too much TV? Are you crazy? Yeah, little girl, you can't just go around cursing people's families. Where are your parents? A kid shouldn't be saying such things. I looked at the girl, who was now laughing so hard she was crying, and shook my head with certainty. The shadow demon on you has absorbed its fill of life force. There's no way they could have survived. Unless I looked up at her. Your grandmother and your mother are no longer human. And based on what she said, her family probably had more than just one shadow demon to worry about. What are you talking about? The girl shoved me, her face flushed with anger. The bus passed another stop. She grabbed me and started dragging me off. Today, I'm going to teach you a lesson on behalf of your parents. She raised her hand to slap me. I calmly lifted my own hand and caught her wrist. She struggled until her face turned red, but she couldn't break free. If you don't believe me, go home and test your mother and grandmother. A person hollowed out by a shadow demon doesn't bleed. They look normal on the outside, but their insides have long since decayed. Their skin is tougher than a living person's. A normal blade won't cut it. Go to a funeral supply shop and buy some cinnabar. Smear it on the edge of a knife, then try to cut their skin. You'll know if I'm telling the truth when you see whether or not the wound bleeds. I let go of her hand. She glared at me. You're just trying to scare me. I think you're the demon. Any other time, I would have just walked away. But this shadow demon was different from any I'd ever encountered. It had piqued my interest. In the mystic arts, there are 3 yang and 4 yin entities. The shadow demon is the first of the 4 yin, and the conditions to create one are extremely demanding. First, after a person dies, their body must be placed in a perfect corpse-nurturing ground and preserved with high-quality jade. You wait until long hairs grow on the corpse, then dig a small channel out of the tomb. A body left in a tomb for that long will produce corpse fluid. The fluid flows out through the channel. The first fluids are useless, you can only use the very last of it. The timing is incredibly difficult to get right. One small mistake, and the demon that's been cultivated for so long is ruined. Once enough fluid is collected, it's refined and concentrated into a small vial of so-called Fuji, a substance said to slow aging and even extend life. The name sounds like skin cream, but let us be real, it's corpse oil. Thanks to the exaggerated claims of some unscrupulous mystics, certain wealthy and powerful people would rather believe it than not, treating it like a treasure. Many years ago, I passed through a corpse-raising village where the locals made a living by refining this stuff. You could smell the rancid stench from miles away. But not long after, everyone in that village was buried alive overnight. The corpse-raising village ceased to exist. But since that place was a prime spot for raising corpses, and so many people died there at once, you didn't need to be a genius to know something terrible was about to happen. I remember a few old masters from different schools teamed up to perform a cleansing ritual. I was too lazy to get involved back then, but I remember some of the details. I'm certain this shadow demon has the same origins as the ones from that village. Normally, the demons from that village would be dug up and burned before they could grow full. The one this girl has is on a whole other level. To be honest, I've never seen one like it. Besides, a full-grown shadow demon is very nourishing. It would be the perfect tribute for my spirit companions. I looked up at the girl. If I'm not mistaken, your family recently brought home a blue bead from the same place your broken bracelet came from. Right, Jessica? Jessica's face was a mask of shock. How do you know my name? I just smiled. The Lady of the Winds told me, of course. She is very interested in this demon. She can't wait for me to catch it and feed it to her. So you're working with a team. I knew a little kid wouldn't have the guts to argue with me like this. I ran into a team of scammers today. You've been targeting my family, haven't you? You even know my mom bought a bead. My patience had worn thin after all this back and forth. You can't help someone who is determined to die. If she wanted to rush to her death, so be it. I turned to leave, but suddenly felt a weight on my leg. I looked down. The Lady of the Winds was hugging my leg, shaking her head. She pointed at Jessica, then pointed at her own mouth. I sighed. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue now that I've called you out? Let me tell you, pay up now, or I'm sending all of you to jail. I rubbed my temples. Fine. Go home. Do exactly what I told you to do, and I'll give you $10 million. Jessica paused, then burst out laughing. 10 million? Do I look like an idiot? I shoved my phone, displaying the balance from Mr. Wang's recent transfer in her face. Jessica fell silent, a greedy light flashing in her eyes. Okay, you said it. If my grandma and my mom are living people, you give me $10 million. I nodded. We'll stay on a video call the whole time, so the demons don't suspect anything and get spooked. Jessica scoffed. Fine. Let us see how long you can keep up this act. Jessica went home quickly. Her phone was pointed at her front door, and even through the screen, I could feel the thick, oppressive energy of the house. Grandma, Mom, I'm home. The moment Jessica opened the door, I sucked in a sharp breath. Her house was crawling with countless shadow demons. The Lady of the Winds, still clinging to me, was ecstatic. She looked like she wanted to devour the phone screen. Jessica, run. The situation at Jessica's house was far worse than I'd imagined. The two entities possessing her grandmother and mother were probably no longer ordinary shadow demons. On the other end of the screen, Jessica scoffed. What, afraid of being proven wrong? Second thoughts? Too late for that. With that, she stepped into the house. Instantly, the demons swarmed forward, and the camera was obscured by a black fog. Of course, Jessica couldn't see a thing. Jessie, where's your bracelet? A raspy, ancient voice asked from the other side of the video. Oh, I ran into some psycho today, and it got broken. Jessica walked over and linked arms with her grandmother, pouting. I'm sorry, Grandma. I didn't protect it. I was staring intently at the screen when her grandmother suddenly looked up. I was caught off guard by a pair of chilling, terrifying eyes. Oh, right, Grandma, I'm on a video call with a friend. I'm going to my room. Jessica's grandmother stared at her back as she walked away. The moment Jessica closed her bedroom door, a shadow moved with impossible speed to her grandmother's side. Its tongue, long like a snake's, shot out and snatched a fly out of the air. The figure's mouth was stained with dark red blood, flecked with bits of flesh. This is bad. It's a ghoul. The Lady of the Winds next to me got even more excited, urging me forward. I didn't waste any time. I hailed a cab. Where to, little miss? I'm not sure. Just drive straight. I'll tell you where to go. I gave the Lady of the Winds a look, and she floated ahead to lead the way. The driver chuckled. Well, this is a first. We ended up stopping in front of a residential complex. It was after 10, and the sky was completely dark, but the building shrouded in demonic energy stood out immediately. At this rate, at midnight tonight, the ghouls in Jessica's house would swarm out. Forget this complex. The entire city would be in chaos. Let the 8 directions be my guide. Let this banner bind the wicked. By my command, seal this place. The driver leaned his head out, filming me with his phone. Little lady, Is this some kind of newfangled performance art? I glanced at the golden light now blanketing the complex and replied, something like that. Your hand signs are pretty impressive, the driver said, mimicking my gesture. I got it all on video. Mind if I post it online? We might just go viral. I gave him a weak smile. In the distance, the black mist was starting to show hints of blood red. I waved to the man. Go for it. The complex was now sealed. People could come and go freely, but no evil thing would be getting out. I quickly called Jessica back. Hey, why do you suddenly hang up? Trying to back out of our deal. I gave her a flat look. Idiot. Did you just call me an idiot? Where are you? She paused. Hey, why does that park behind you look so familiar? Jessica was getting agitated. You followed me. I knew there was no such thing as a free lunch. You really are a scammer. Listen to me. The two demons possessing your grandmother and mother have evolved into ghouls. Tonight, they will consume all the other demons in your house. Once they reach their peak power, you will die if they aren't stopped. What is this, a new trick? You say my grandma is a ghoul? Do you have any proof? I really wanted to turn around and leave Jessica to her fate, but seeing the hungry look on the Lady of the Wind's face, and thinking of all the innocent lives in this complex, I took a deep breath. Where's the cinnabar I told you to buy? Jessica pulled a small bag of it from her purse. What for? Cinnabar repels all evil entities, and ghouls are no exception. Their skin will blister if they touch it. Go try it, and you'll see if I'm lying. I added, and use it sparingly. It might just save your life later. Jessica scoffed. Just then a notification popped up on my phone. 8-year-old girl performs exorcism. Mystic master or elaborate hoax. I frowned. Ha 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 ha. That kid in the video is you, isn't it, you little scammer? It seemed Jessica got the notification too. The video showed me setting up the seal at the entrance to the complex. I hadn't expected the driver to be an influencer. The video went viral as soon as he posted it. The comments are all telling you to go back to school and trust in science. Jessica was gloating. But the top comment was from a Taoist master. I've never seen these hand signs before, little friend. What school do you follow? Oh look, you've even got a hype man. He with you, isn't he, little scammer? I casually replied, I'm not a Taoist. I follow the path of the spirit medium. The moment I posted it, my DMs and comments section blew up. The spirit medium path? Isn't that a legendary school? It actually exists. What? A spirit medium? I've only read about them in books. What are you all talking about? Am I the only one who has lost? Did the spiritual awakening happen without me? Master, please take me as your student. Please carry me. Jessica replied in the thread. Don't be fooled by her, everyone. This little scammer is also saying my mom and grandma are ghouls or something. The people hyping her up are probably all in on it. Her comment did the work for me. Anyone in the know would immediately grasp the severity of the situation. You mortals can't see it with your naked eyes, but those of us on the path can see that the little master placed a golden seal over your entire complex when she set up that barrier. She is definitely not a scammer. If there really are ghouls, there will be blood. This is a very bad sign. Jessica was furious. It's 2024. How are people still not believing in science? This little scammer followed me all the way to my home. There are no ghosts. Since you're all so sure, why don't we start a live stream and let everyone see if she is lying or not? Jessica started a stream and invited me to join the call. I sighed and accepted. The story was already trending. As soon as Jessica went live, thousands of people flooded into the stream. Little scammer, the whole internet is waiting to see you get exposed. I smiled. If you don't do what I say, you might not live to see that day. Jessica shrugged and addressed the camera with a smile. Hi everyone. This little scammer here says that if I sprinkle cinnabar on my mom and grandma, their skin will blister. I just bought this packet of cinnabar, it's legit. Let us go give it a try. While Jessica went to test the ghouls, I did 2 laps around the complex. For so many demons to gather in her house, there had to be a catalyst. I had to find it and destroy it to weaken the ghouls. Look everyone, this is my mom and grandma. To prove I'm not cheating, I haven't told them what is going on. Now let us see how they react to the cinnabar. I glanced at the screen. The swarm of demons was gone. In their place, Jessica's mom and grandma had even more terrifying eyes, and the demonic energy around them was thicker. I checked the time. Half an hour until midnight. No offense, but the streamer's grandma is creeping me out. She gives me the chills. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Stop with the personal attacks. Can someone who knows about this stuff please explain? I'm a 32nd generation disciple of the Maoshan school. The layout of this house is definitely wrong. It looks like a corpse nurturing ground. While everyone was debating, Jessica had already approached her grandmother. She linked arms with the old woman, smiling sweetly. Grandma, why are you still up so late? Her grandmother turned with a sinister, stiff smile. OMG. That lighting and that smile are terrifying. Blanket God, protect me. It's definitely just the lighting. We have to believe in science, people. Jessica had hidden a pinch of cinnabar in her fingertips and lightly sprinkled it on her grandmother's arm. Everyone held their breath, waiting. Ah! The old woman shrieked, making everyone jump. Jessica froze in place. I made soup and forgot to turn off the stove. With that, the old woman hurried to the kitchen. You scared me. I thought she was about to transform. LOL. The streamer scared herself too. Messing with your own grandma, because of what some 8-year-old said. What was she thinking? Yeah, if we're talking creepy, isn't that little girl more suspicious? It's almost midnight, and she's wandering around someone else's neighborhood. Don't her parents care? I heard on the news a while ago that several patients escaped from the psychiatric hospital in the next city over. You don't think this kid? That's it. I'm calling the cops. Wait. Look. In the kitchen, Jessica's grandmother was stirring the pot with a blank expression. On her arm, blisters were beginning to form. When they popped, no blood came out, only clear fluid. She didn't seem to feel any pain. Wait, is this for real? This isn't some scripted drama by the streamer and that kid, is it? Jessica's face slowly turned pale, her eyes filled with terror. I just met that scammer on the bus today. This isn't scripted. Right. I remember now. The little girl broke the streamer's Jade bracelet and said it had a demon in it. Look. What is that in the little girl's hand on the split screen? I had dug up a small wooden box from the bushes under Jessica's apartment building. The box looked ancient, but I recognized the totem carved on it. When I passed through the corpse-raising village all those years ago, the villagers wore clothes embroidered with the same symbol. I was right. The ghouls in Jessica's house came from that village. I opened the box. Inside was a blue bead. This must be the one her mother brought home recently. I had to destroy it. Now. By the sacred flames, let karmic fire consume you. I summoned the Lord of Embers. Burn. Flames engulfed the entire box. The blue bead inside vibrated violently, then slowly cracked until it shattered with a soft pop. Whoa. What kind of special effect is that? So cool. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm seeing a real spirit medium summon a deity in my lifetime. I'm sharing this stream in my Taoist temple group chat. Is that the Lord of Embers? So awesome. I heard spirit mediums can summon gods and demons from all directions. I wonder if I'll ever get to see my idol, the Lady of the Winds. Aren't these just characters from mythology? They actually exist. Jessica stared at the scene, her entire worldview shattering. Jessie. A pale, bluish face suddenly loomed in front of her screen, a cold smile spreading across it. What are you looking at? Ah. Jessica's mother had appeared out of nowhere. She smiled at Jessica, her mouth stretching wider and wider, until you could see the raw meat and blood stuck in her throat. The bead was destroyed, and the two ghouls sensed it, revealing their true forms ahead of schedule. Her grandmother came out of the kitchen. The flesh on her arm had been completely corroded by the cinnabar, revealing stark white bone. She twisted her neck with a sickening crack. Jessie, you haven't been a good girl. And naughty children get eaten. Ah. Jessica threw a handful of cinnabar and scrambled back into her room, shaking so badly the phone camera was a blur. Jessie, open the door for Grandma. Jessie, it's Mommy. Open the door. Open the door. The pounding on the door grew louder, the voices outside more shrill. The entire doorframe was shaking. Jessica was huddled under a desk, her voice trembling. Scam no. Master. Please save me. I was wrong. I don't want to die. Streamer, I gotta say, I liked you better when you were still acting tough. Don't joke around. If this is real, the streamer is in serious danger. Master, you have to do something to save her. I looked at Jessica and asked, how much cinnabar do you have left? She shakily held up the rest. This is all I have. I frowned. Do you have any glutinous rice in your house? Yes. Jessica nodded frantically, then started crying again. The rice is in the kitchen. I'm too scared to go out. These two ghouls are too powerful. The bead is shattered, but its power hasn't been fully extinguished. I need to stay here until it burns to ash. I can't help you directly for now. In a moment, I'll try to summon some wandering spirits from around your building to distract your mom and grandma. You take the cinnabar and hide in the kitchen. Use the rice mix with the cinnabar to draw a circle around yourself. They won't be able to hurt you for a while. But they're too far away, so the spirits I summon won't last long. You have to be quick. Jessica nodded through her tears. Oh, okay. I bit my fingertip and drew a sigil in the air. By the forces of yin and yang, I command you. Come forth. The pounding on the door stopped, followed by a chorus of ghostly wails. Now, go. Jessica gritted her teeth, pushed the door open and ran. The camera panned over to her mother and grandmother, who were now fighting with two shadowy figures, their faces twisted in terrifying, vicious snarls. Jessica scrambled through the cabinets, found a bag of glutinous rice, and poured it on the floor. She then started sprinkling the cinnabar on top of it. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew through the room, scattering the rest of the cinnabar. Found you. Jessica's grandmother appeared outside the incomplete circle, smiling at her. Ah. Jessica crouched on the floor, crying with her head in her hands. Master, save me. Save me. Her grandmother reached out, her long nails aiming for Jessica. But the next second, she snatched her hand back as if burned, staring hatefully at Jessica. The glutinous rice on the floor had been mixed with enough cinnabar. The protective circle was complete. Jessica breathed a sigh of relief. Suddenly, a chill ran down her spine. A pair of hands slowly crept up from behind her. Through the phone's camera, she saw a figure perched on her shoulders. Its face was dark purple, its eyes completely white, with no pupils. Jessica's eyes rolled back, and she fainted. The ghouls had been feeding on the family for a long time. All they needed now was to consume Jessica, and their work would be complete. The second ghoul, perched behind Jessica, swept aside the rice that wasn't coated in cinnabar. It opened its cavernous mouth, revealing a long, snake-like tongue and rows of thin, sharp teeth. The moment it touched Jessica, a green shadow shot out and slammed it against the wall. The wall caved in, sending up a cloud of dust. In her true form, the Lady of the Winds was far more terrifying than any ghoul, and she was their natural predator. She pinned Jessica's mother beneath her, opened a mouth 10 times larger than the ghoul's, and swallowed it whole. Afterward, she looked completely satisfied. Then she transformed back into her gentle, beautiful form, and turned her glowing eyes to the other ghoul. Whoa. What was that thing that just flew past? I think it was a beautiful woman. I just saw a green shadow. Didn't you see? She just swallowed a person whole. Dude, that wasn't a person, that was a ghost. Wait. Is that a wind pearl around her neck? Is that person the Wind Master? Ah. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Mom, I saw my idol. She is so beautiful, I'm crying. Your idol's giant mouth was way scarier than the ghoul's. Shut up. My idol is the prettiest and the best. Suddenly, the livestream flickered and was cut off. The Lady of the Winds licked her fangs. Seeing this, Jessica's grandmother tried to run, but the door was sealed shut by my spell. I chuckled. 300 years ago, when I passed through that corpse-raising village, I knew something was wrong with it. But you kept to yourselves and didn't harm outsiders, so I let it be. But you just had to come to the city and cause trouble. Are you that eager to die? The ghouls snarled at me. It was the family's greed. They made a deal with the village. I ensured their prosperity, and they offered their bodies as sacrifice. What did I do wrong? You're the one who should die for meddling. My eyes turned cold. I laughed. I hope your head is as tough as your talk. With that, I balled my fist and punched it square in the face. Its physical form shuddered, and its soul was knocked halfway out of its body. Only then did it feel true fear. Who are you? I rolled my wrist and continued to punch it, again and again. I'm your ancestor. A spirit medium is a conduit for all the gods and ghosts in the world. Calling myself its ancestor wasn't even an exaggeration. With every punch that landed, the lesser demons it had swallowed came pouring out, quickly filling the room again. The ghoul on the floor was now so weak I could barely hear it breathe. The Lady of the Winds saw her chance and started drooling, about to rush forward, but I quickly pulled her back. Eating just anything will only hurt you. The Lady of the Winds was not happy. I took the ashes of the bead I had just burned out of my bag and tossed them to her. She sniffed them and seemed satisfied. Then I looked at the room full of trembling demons and formed a seal. A year's decay, a moment's grace. I send you now to the cycle's embrace. Begone. As I finished, a vortex appeared on the floor, sucking in all the demons in the house. Many of these souls had not chosen to become shadow demons. I sent them on to the underworld. Whether they were good or evil in life was for the judges there to decide. Right or wrong, there is always justice. As for the ghoul, now barely a wisp of energy, it couldn't enter the underworld. I balled it up, squeezing it into a bead the size of a walnut. Goodies like this might come in handy later. If nothing else, I could always feed it to the Lady of the Winds. I crouched down, pinched Jessica's cheek, and snapped my fingers. Wakey wakey. Her eyes shot open. Don't eat me. I was playing with the ghoul bead in my hand and looked at her, amused. When Jessica saw me, she immediately hugged my leg, looking around the room with lingering fear. The ghosts? Here. I held out the ghoul bead. The Lady of the Winds ate the other one. My mom and grandma. My hand paused. I patted her head. Everyone's life has a set course. Their business in this world is finished. They've gone on to the next place that's meant for them. Jessica lowered her head, and after a moment, I heard soft sobs. I looked at the wreckage of the room, and felt a bit overwhelmed. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. 2 men in uniforms were standing outside. The one in the lead walked forward and showed me his ID. Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. Agent Evans. I wasn't surprised. I glanced past him. Where's Wallace? Agent Evans stiffened. He looked at me with a new hint of apprehension. Director Wallace was transferred 10 years ago. He's at headquarters now. Oh. I smiled at him. Well, I'll leave this mess for you to clean up. It's late, and I'm getting tired. See ya. Miss Quinn, Agent Evans called out. The Bureau of Supernatural Affairs would like to formally invite you to join us. I stretched. Director Wallace said the same thing to me over a decade ago. But I'm not a very ambitious person. I'll pass. Wait. Agent Evans handed me a file. This is a case we received a year ago. None of the agents we sent in came back. Director Wallace strongly recommended you. I was wondering if you might be interested. I flipped through it casually, but a photo caught my eye. Several top billionaires had committed suicide, one after another, in the same old mansion. Their bodies had no signs of injury. The photos that came back looked normal, too. But all the bodies were infested with 1,000-year corpse worms. I tossed the ghoul bead in my hand, looked up at Agent Evans and smiled. I'll take it. 1,000-year corpse worms. It looked like the day I finally unraveled the secrets of my own body was getting closer. The end.